continue to build on what's been the first 2 years of 1871. And the reason is that money has become almost ubiquitous. There's no difficulty raising money for new businesses. What's tough is talent, and we're working aggressively on talent, and I'll be happy to talk about that in a minute. And the other thing is customers, and what people don't understand about the coasts is that's not where the customers are.
So we are not then losing our best and brightest to the coasts any longer?
Well, we're stemming that flow. I mean, there's no question that it was the case for a long time that Facebook would drive a bus here and take everybody from the U of I who was a systems engineer out west. But I think now more and more, especially with 1871, we have 260 companies there now. 1,000 people a day come. It has become, as you said, a magnet. And it has really been sort of proof of the fact that you can stay in Chicago, build a good business, and thrive here. And one more thing I would say is that Chicago has a definite culture, and the culture is B2B. It has very little to do with the next dating site, the next gourmet donut delivery service. It has a lot to do with improving productivity, saving time, saving money, making businesses more efficient.
So while we know of Groupon and Grubhub and such, a lot of these companies, most people don't even know exist because they are serving the business world.
Absolutely. And you know what? Just to give you an idea of the dimensions of the opportunity, in the last 6 months, we've had $5 billion worth of exits in Chicago. $5 billion. This is a pretty impressive set of statistics.
So are we being recognized? Has that change moved the needle in terms of the impression that other parts of this country and other parts of the world in how they see Chicago?
Well, I think Steve Case is about as good a magnet and measurement of what's going on in the tech world as anyone.
He's
That's
the
the founder of AOL, okay? And he has a whole vision now of what's called the rise of the rest, which is that the way and the place to invest, as does Mark Cuban, by the way. The place to invest today is in the Midwest. The opportunities are better, the competition is less, you get more value for your investment. So I think Chicago and the Midwest in particular have become a very powerful new investment venue.
And 1871, for those who don't know, why don't you explain how that has become such a growth center for digital startups?
Well, I think first of all, the name is, of course, the year of the Chicago Fire, and post the Chicago Fire was a tremendous period of rebuilding and growth and innovation for the city. We see technology enabling the second generation of that, and it's so remarkable. 50 years ago, I sort of grew up in the Merchandise Mart, and to see the transformation of the Merchandise Mart into a hub of technology with 2,000 people from Motorola, 1,000 in 1871, CCC, Allscripts, Razorfish, Braintree. To see this building re-envisioned is amazing. But what's been very powerful is we knew all these disparate assets were available in the city. To bring them into one place has been really the defining
And these assets
factor.
are anything that a startup needs to really get to market.
Absolutely. And by the way, not limited just to that. So for sure funding and for sure technology, but we also have all the major universities represented there. We have 9 venture funds, we have 6 or 7 incubators, we have accelerators, we have, to give you an idea, 400 education events a year, 250 workshops, 4,500 hours of one-on-one mentoring where business people like yourself come in and meet with the startups to help them improve their performance.
And we have good infrastructure in the city. We have good political support. We have good private sector support. So it makes sense that Chicago becomes a catalyst unto itself for this kind of development.
Well, and one of the things that we're doing now in what we call 1871 2.0 is focusing now vertically. So one of the things we've announced is a hub for veteran-owned businesses. Another is a focus on education technology. Now, Chicago has plenty of issues in the education space, but at the same time, we also have a tremendous advantage. And the advantage is the largest charter network, the largest Catholic network, school network, 3rd largest CPS system, and a mayor who gets it, and all the foundations and all the support. It's very impressive.
What was your mandate when you took this position?
Jobs. It was jobs. I mean, I think that there have been a lot of fundraising, there have been a lot of successes, but the shift has been to create real sustainable businesses that create jobs. And I think you know this, But in the last 10 years in the United States, there's been almost no new net job growth. But the sector that has created new jobs are startups, new businesses.
We also need the academic institutions to be fostering this,
Yeah.
to even in high school, have kids get ignited with the enthusiasm of this digital world.
Well, not only that, but at the university level, if there's a continuum from 0 to 10, and 0 is the idea and 10 is commercialization, what's happened in the last many years in the university system was it would sort of stall out at 5. You got your lab refinanced, you got your paper published, all that messy commercialization stuff, that was for somebody else to do. And by the way, that was stuff outside of the university.
Yeah.
So having the universities with offices at 1871 has improved the access of those technologies to these marketers and to these startups.
Well, we'll have a little bit more conversation with Howard Tallman. Chicago wants this global manufacturing center. Do you think that we can again be a global leader? Is digital technology our ticket to that future? If you have a comment, why don't you let us